That's right, do you feel that WWE is stuck in a rut like I do? Or do you think everything's hunky-dory? You're like, yeah, bring on the disqualification finishes. Love those. Get my juices flowing, because I want to know in the comments below. Yes, WWE is stuck in a rut. No, you internet dweeb, WWE is just fine. Too many YouTubers complain about too many things. Those are your two options in the comment below. Because today, what we're going to do is shock the system. I've got 10 ways to just really ramp up the storytelling, the unpredictability of WWE right now. It all makes sense. We don't have to do a swerve for swerve's sake. We can literally start this Friday 10 ways to make the product better, exciting, and amazingly awesome. But first, if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to the channel. I produce daily wrestling content. I'm like a hairless Sante Zap on caffeine. I would appreciate it. Bonus points if you do that comment that I asked, then you get to win this belt. Maybe at 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to pick a random comment from a random video and give this belt away. And I'll tell you what, I'm calling it right now. When I hit 30,000 subscribers, I'm going to quit the day job. I have a day job right now. I'm quitting it at 30,000 subscribers, so help me bump up those numbers. All right, so 10 ways, right? 10 ways to improve WWE right now, to get it unstuck from the rut that I feel that it is in. So number 10 is John Cena. He comes out and he says, open challenge. That's right. John Cena issues an open challenge to anyone in the locker room. He says this, though. He's like, listen, I will fight whoever Triple H, Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce wants me to on the big events. Saturday main event or PLEs, you call it. But on a TV show, I want someone new, no matter what. My only caveat is this. Anybody can walk down that aisle and face me, but it has to be someone I've never faced before. And that way we get 6 to 8 really cool matches before John Cena leaves. Can you imagine if we could get a John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio, John Cena versus Ludwig Kaiser, John Cena versus Chad Gable, Pete Dunne, Grande Americano. The list, while it's not endless, we'd get about 8 choices, but it would be so cool to see John Cena do that. And now I know that they were holding back during his heel turn, because we got a random match on SmackDown last week, and so let's get a bunch of random matches, and I think that would be must-see TV right there. So let's do number 9 right now. Number 9 is Karrion Cross. Karrion Cross is going to appear. Now, he's not signed right now, but I'd say Triple H, call him up on Sunday. This Sunday, call him up. Say, we're signing you, and Scarlett, get to Raw tomorrow. We're going to sneak him in, and when Sami Zayn is cutting a promo or something, Karrion Cross is going to attack him, and Karrion Cross is going to make it a violent affair, because we're going to be like, oh yeah, cool, Karrion Cross is here, but I want us to actually regret that decision when it's all said and done. Bonus points if we call him Killer Cross now, but yeah, I want this to be so ugly that we're all like, maybe he should have stayed fired. And I'm not one just to bloody someone up for bloody sake, but we need to do this. This will give the underdog from the underground some sympathy that I see that he's missing. I want this. Yeah, let's do this. Number 8, Drew McIntyre wins the undisputed title. I know. What are you, a moron? Cody just won. They're not going to let Cody lose after 1 month. Hey, I'm trying to get WWE out of the rut. I am trying to get us away from the mundane, the predictable. You let Drew win 1 month after Cody gets it back. I'm telling you, that would be insane, and people would sit up and take notice, and they wouldn't know what to expect. And hey, you know what? Cody's going to Hollywood anyways to film Hardy Kent Street Fighter. So let's do something crazy. Let's throw a hornet's nest into the undisputed division and just let craziness ensue. Bonus points if the Vision actually helps him, because imagine this. What if the Vision helped Drew McIntyre beat Cody Rhodes, and Seth is like, you know what? My vision is for all of WWE, and Drew McIntyre, while not aligned with us, he makes a good representative for WWE. And so they can have some kind of loose alliance right there. So feel free to have Seth help. And then Cody can get some sympathy. He can go away for a little bit. But 1 month after winning the title, That would be insane. Number 7 is the New Day. They're going to bring in their third member finally. It's not Grayson Waller. It's going to be Omos. Omos returns. Omos is still on payroll. Omos is still on payroll. Could you imagine how, like, irritating and just, like, how much you would want to punch the New Day in the face if they had a 12-foot giant behind them? They would be so obnoxious. They're obnoxious now. Imagine them with that kind of muscle. Omos behind them. And I don't want Omos to be silly. I don't want Omos to be silly. Let Kofi and Xavier be the silly ones. Now, what do you do about Grayson Waller? I mean, I do kind of like Grayson with the New Day, but I feel like Omos would just be like next level. Next level. You want to keep Grayson with them? That's fine. Or you build up to this ceremony where they're going to induct, where they're like, okay, we're actually inducting our third member today, and everybody just thinks it's Grayson Waller, but then Omos comes out of nowhere and they murder him as well. So, like, whatever the case may be, Omos now a New Day member. Next, we're gonna do AJ Styles, right? He's in a feud with Dominik Mysterio. He's gonna lose. He is straight up going to lose, and it's gonna be because Finn Balor helps him, right? Finn Balor helps him, and Finn is laughing. He thinks it's great. He thinks it's funny until the next night on Raw. They're in the clubhouse. AJ walks in. He asks everybody to leave except for Finn. He sits down next to Finn, and he's like, Finn, what happened to you, man? What happened to the guy that I took over the Bullet Club from? And they reference New Japan. And they just, because both of them were Bullet Club leaders, and that's a big faction. It was their NWO in New Japan. And Finn Balor was the original leader. And when he left to come to WWE, AJ took over. So Finn is like, he has fallen so far down the card. I love this version of Finn. I'm not going to lie. I really do. He's so funny. I do love him, and I will miss him. But I think for Finn's career and legacy as a whole, like, AJ sits down with him and says, look at you, Finn. Your role is to help Dominik hold on to the Intercontinental title. What happened to you, man? What happened to you? And then Finn says, well, what about you, man? You can't even beat him. And AJ's like, you're right. I am going to go back to my roots, and I think you should too. And AJ leaves, and we don't see AJ again until the next number. But on this one, Finn, that eats at Finn, and Finn is going to quit the Judgment Day. See, we don't have to break up the Judgment Day. Judgment Day is like this never-ending group that can just, like, bring people in and then send them off on their merry way as a bigger star. It's done that plenty of times so far, and that's what it's going to do. Finn Balor is just going to be like, guys, I gotta leave. I really do have to leave. And we will see Finn Balor again, but he will come back as, you guessed it, he will come back as the Demon. Let's go to the next number. I think I'm on number 6 or 5. I know it's loose count. It would help if I had a script. So anyways, we're at an episode of TNA. It's like, wait, what? Yeah, TNA, a whole nother federation, but their champion is Trick Williams. And he's calling out everybody. He's like, nobody can beat me, and I am the greatest TNA champion of all time. And then, who should show up? AJ Styles. He said he was going to go back to his roots, and his roots are TNA. He goes back to his roots, sets up a feud, and AJ is the one who beats Trick Williams. And then let's just leave AJ there for 3 months. Leave AJ in TNA for 3 months until he loses to one of the TNA homegrown talent. And that would be cool. That would be sweet. Trick Williams then will come back to WWE. He's not going back to NXT. He's like, I can't go back to NXT. I'd be humiliated. So he actually goes right to SmackDown. Do not pass go. He's on SmackDown now, and him and Carmelo Hayes, they meet up. And both of them are kind of like, they're kind of down on themselves. You got Carmelo Hayes, who doesn't really get airtime, and Trick Williams just lost his title. These dudes were friends in NXT, and they rekindle their friendship, and they start something cool and amazing right here. Maybe we start them off as a tag team, but I would rather them just maybe, who knows, what if they try to one-up each other? Like, they will literally feud with the same person, but they try to one-up each other. So if they pick a feud with The Miz, like let's say Carmelo Hayes beats The Miz in 5 minutes, Trick Williams has to beat him in 4 minutes. Otherwise, Carmelo Hayes is like, yep, I'm him, and they can have that like competitive match. And I get it that buries The Miz, but like, let's be honest, The Miz doesn't really care. He's cemented his legacy, but I'm just using that as an example. They keep trying to one-up each other while both being heels, so it's like a friendly feud between them while feuding with everybody else. So you see what I've done here? I've given main event talent stuff, I've given mid-card, lower card, everything is happening. All right, I got a couple more. We'll talk Seth's group at the end because I feel Seth's group has so much potential and I don't want to waste it, but right now I do feel that it is in a rut, but we can easily solve that. Very easily solve it and make it one of the greatest storylines. So the next one is going to be Jade Cargill. We're going to revamp her. There was this old gimmick by Lex Luger back in like, what was it, like 93, 94, before he got the Lex Express. He came into WWE as the narcissist, and he was just like, he had a bodybuilder physique, and he would look at himself in the mirror. He had a bunch of girls on his side and stuff like that, and yeah. Let's just do that with Jade. Jade is going to have, she's going to have a bunch of dudes come out holding the mirror. She's going to really just look at herself and be amazed at just how good she looks. She's going to tell the crowd, hey, you know what? I heard everything you said. And like, you're all fat. You're telling me that I can't wrestle. Look at you. Look at you, you're all fat, you're all ugly, you're all this, you're all that, and then look at me. And then she just looks at herself in the mirror and just says pose and pose and pose. Like, we could literally do that for like an entire month without even one single match. That would be amazing and awesome. And then let her eventually get to a point where she challenges whoever's going to beat Julia for the U.S. title. Jade Cargill then will beat the person who beats Julia, and then she will just have the U.S. title for a very long time. It keeps her out of the main event division while building this like just obnoxious character. Like, we will seriously hate her, and we will use the internet hate for our benefit here. All right, so next we have Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns, right? That has to happen. He stole his shoes. Gotta happen. Roman's gonna beat him. Roman is going to beat him. I don't really know what we could do with Roman because of his contract, but the moment he beats him, the moment he puts up the ones, the moment he's putting his shoes on, we could just have Braun Breaker spear him. You know, Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns. That's a feud that could carry all the way to the Royal Rumble, and then that will then lead to Roman and Seth at WrestleMania. But before that, when Bronson Reed loses, right, the next night on Raw, Seth Rollins is going to be like, hey, listen, man, no shame in losing to the big dog. You know, it's Roman Reigns, whatever. Don't worry about it. However, I do feel that you're not hungry. You're not hungry enough. Like, I want to see that beast, that monster that attacked me, that tsunami me 6 times. I want to see that. And so what I'm going to do is I've already made the deal. I'm sending you to SmackDown. You are going to be going to SmackDown as an agent of chaos for me. You are my herald. You are my herald. You are going to go to SmackDown and let everybody know of Seth freaking Rollins, and that I loom over all of WWE. And, you know, they'll say whatever they need to say to make it work. And so Bronson Reed will go to SmackDown. And he'll go to SmackDown in the name of Seth Rollins. And he has no problem fighting Drew McIntyre, or he'll have no problem if Drew McIntyre actually is the champion because of what I said earlier. Then we don't need to worry, and he'll never go after Drew because he was appointed by Seth. But even though Drew doesn't see it that way, but Bronson Reed now can have his own feuds, be his own person while still attached to Seth, and we can bring him back whenever we want. But I would say this, put Bronson Reed, his first attack, Damian Priest. Damian Priest is a guy that we built up in 2024 and we've kind of just slowly let decline. I think Bronson Reed and Damian Priest would have a banger of a feud. And I think that would be great for both men to elevate themselves up away from anybody else. And that's how we handle Bronson Reed, but he's still doing it all for Seth Rollins. Back to Seth Rollins now. He has his match, right? He is going to win his match. If we do what I said, if Seth actually did help Drew McIntyre, I would say turnabout's fair play. Have Drew help Seth Rollins retain. And that means LA Knight is mad at Drew McIntyre. So LA Knight will then go and feud with Drew. I know he's just hopping between brands right now, but technically he's still a SmackDown guy. So he goes and feuds with Drew. And those guys can feud all the way to Survivor Series if we want. And that keeps LA Knight in the main event. Now Seth freaking Rollins, he's down one person, right? Because he let Bronson Reed go. I think they should have done this in the beginning. It should have been like Evolution, and Braun Breaker should have been Batista. So we need someone to fill the Randy Orton role of Evolution, and you would think maybe Ethan Page, maybe Trick Williams, maybe Ricky Saints. I say Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov is ready. He's ready to come back. He has to be. He has to be ready to come back. This is a dude that is insane and crazy, but he's a smaller guy. And the reason why I say Ilya Dragunov is best for this role, because Bronson Reed was a big dude, right? And he has a certain kind of aura about him and intensity and everything. I love Ethan Page. I'm so-so on Ricky Saints. He hasn't won me over. But either way, those guys, they don't feel like they could fit in now. Like, we could have used them in the beginning, but now we can't use them because we already had Bronson Reed. So we got to bring in someone super tough and crazy, and Ilya Dragunov fits that bill. So Ilya Dragunov can fit the bill of a smaller guy, but still an intense threat. And so, boom, right there, now we have the new vision. We have Seth freaking Rollins, the Oracle, Paul Heyman, your Batista in Braun Breaker, who is kind of sort of feuding with Roman Reigns, and you have Ilya Dragunov, while Bronson Reed is on SmackDown causing chaos and disruption. And boom, there you go for just how to shock the system. Right now, we can just shake it all up. Everything I said could happen with the exception of the Demon, Finn Balor. We can get him on the road to being the Demon, give him 3 months of vacation, and boom, he comes back. Everything else, doable right this second. On Friday, we could start the whole entire process. And you want to know something? Speaking of vacations, here's an idea that just came to my head. Bonus one. Gunther comes back, right? And they go, Gunther, what title are you going to go for? Because 80% of your tenure, you've been a champion. And Gunther's like, I'm not going for a title. I'm on vacation right now. You're on vacation? You're leaving? He's like, no. I'm on vacation. I'm just going to beat up everybody. That's my vacation. I'm not going to worry about titles. I'm just going to worry about having the best matches I can and being on the sacred mat. And so Gunther then, for maybe 6 months to a year, is just picking people at random to feud with because he just wants to wrestle. And that's all he wants to do. And that allows Gunther to stay in the limelight while being out of the title picture. And boom, there you go. He's on vacation. That's how he says it. And they're shocked. Are you shocked? Is the system shocked? Could you see these things happening starting Friday? And do you think they are good? Do you have any other ideas to just throw against the wall and just shake it up? Get us out of this rut that the WWE seems to be in? Put it in the comments below. I appreciate every single one of you. Please don't forget to subscribe and see you. Bye.